Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
Albert Pujols has been a thorn in the side of the Rays this year. And last night, he led the Angels' attack again, highlighted by his 536th career home run, tying him with Mickey Mantle on the all-time list. Tonight, Erasmo Ramirez has the task of slowing Pujols down and getting the Rays back on the winning track. Tonight's Wednesday Showdown is brought to you by your Tampa Bay area Mazda dealers. After a 7-3 road trip, it was a disappointing beginning to an 8-game homestand last night. The Rays dropped an 8-2 decision, and tonight it is Game 2 of this series between the Rays and the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to have you aboard. Well, too much Albert Pujols, not only last night, but in the season series. He's hit 4 home runs against the Rays so far this year, and they're going to ask Erasmo Ramirez to put an end to that.
You know, you look at Albert Pujols, the last 2 weeks, he has been absolutely on fire. 8 home runs, 13 runs driven in. And as you just mentioned, half of that production has come against the Rays in just 4 games. Right now, you can see how well balanced he is. He's able to cover the plate, you know, the hanging breaking ball to left, the ball he hits down the line, the ball he gets on top of the fastball that's up in the zone. This is the ridiculous one. The fact that he's covering that pitch away and taking it the other way with so much power. Right now, the way you got to pitch Pujols, you got to pitch him in, you got to pitch him away, up, down, back and forth, and you have to stay out of patterns because he's locked in right now. That task will fall to Erasmo Ramirez, and he has been outstanding in his last 2 outings, both coming on that last road trip. Covered 12 1/3 innings, and he gave up just 1 earned run, picking up 2 victories while striking out 12. The key for him is he has been much more aggressive. Strike 1, big for him. Pitch ahead, get to the changeup, put guys away.
And the pitching matchup, Jared Weaver with a record of 4-5 on the year. He had been pitching extremely well. Ran into a big bump up at Yankee Stadium. He has a .371 earned run average against the Rays in his career. 5-4, 4 of those wins here at the Trop. And Erasmo Ramirez in his time with Seattle was 1-2, but with a nifty 2.28 earned run average against this Angels ball club. Joey Butler was red hot on that last road trip. He continues that hot hitting. And when we come back, we'll take a closer look at Joey Butler swinging the bat. He has been an indispensable part of this lineup. And that sign right there, the internet.
middle game of a 3-game series. When you look at the Angels lineup, you always circle guys like Mike Trout and Albert Pujols 2-3 in their lineup. For the Rays lately, Joey Butler has to be the guy you focus on. He has been the most productive Ray in the last week to 10 days. Butler hits in that 2 spot in the Rays lineup lately. And over his last 10 games, a .385 average, a .641 slugging percentage. In our Toyota trend, he's also only had 2 walks this year, but when he hits in batters counts, he's 10 for 21, hitting .476. We asked his hitting coach, Derek Shelton, what he has liked about Butler's approach.
He's very calm, and I think Kevin had a previous relationship with him because he actually played with him. So when he came into spring training, he said he can really hit, and he's shown that. But I think the one thing about it is he's really calm in the box. He doesn't let the game situation or anything speed him up, and the fact that he's able to handle the ball away and drive the ball the other way, I think makes it really beneficial for his swing.
Cash played with Butler at AAA Round Rock in the minor leagues. Hey, it's a Web Wednesday, so Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson will answer your questions if you tweet them to @SunSportsRays with a hashtag AskRays or email them to sunsportsrays@gmail.com. Emily Austin will be monitoring the questions, and Dwayne and BA have all the answers. We'll have baseball right around the corner. It's the Rays and the Angels. Erasmo Ramirez against Jared Weaver. 2 minutes and 40 seconds till first pitch. Enjoy all the action right around the corner on Sunsport.
Where the Rays and the Angels square off. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Eric Ibar is going to lead it off, followed by Mike Trout and Albert Pujols, Calhoun, Perez, and Joyce down the middle. It'll be the DH, Chris Crone. Making his major league debut, Kyle Kubetza. He's at third base, and Johnny Giovanella is at second, and he hits ninth. All set to play ball. First pitch of this game presented by Pinch a Penny, and it's lifted into center. Eric Ibar out number one as Kevin Kiermaier takes care of that.
Well, I'll tell you what a turnaround it's been for the Rays starting pitcher here tonight, Erasmo Ramirez, from the struggles the first couple times out of the gate. But he has been outstanding since then, and his last 2 starts, as we highlighted in the open, just 1 earned run given up in 12 1/3 innings in picking up 2 of his 4 wins.
Now Mike Trout The pitch from Ramirez is a strike. Trout and Albert Pujols behind him, tied for third in the American League in home runs with 16. This one's skied to right, and Souza Jr.'s there to make the catch on that one. 2 up and 2 down.
Well, take a quick look at the Rays defense and see how that's going to set up here tonight in the outfield. Left to right, we have DeJesus, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Longoria back at third, Cabrera, Forsythe, and Nick Franklin with Rene Rivera behind the plate.
And in steps Albert Pujols. 16th on the all-time home run list now, sharing that with Mickey Mantle, and he lines it into left, and it's caught by DeJesus. Or did it catch DeJesus? One way or another, it's out number 3. I lost track of that one in the lights there at the last moment, and made the catch. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the Rays half of the inning. Lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. It's going to be Kiermaier and then Joey Butler, the DH again. Longoria back in the lineup. DeJesus hitting cleanup. Forsythe and Souza 5 and 6. Cabrera, Franklin, and Rivera 7, 8, and 9. All against Jared Weaver. 32-year-old right-hander. Kiermaier is going to bunt. That's a strike.
Well, Jared Weaver looking to bounce back. The season 4-5 with a 4.60. Had a rough outing his last time out in Yankee Stadium. Gave up 3 home runs, 7 earned total. But I'll tell you, he's been very good here at Tropicana Field. 5 career starts, a perfect 4-0 record.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Giovatello. So Kiermaier is the first out. Well, we have a couple guys here in Weaver and Ramirez who, if they had met last year, you'd say, well, these guys are going to throw some fly balls, and Weaver does. Erasmo is throwing a lot of ground balls this year for the Rays. So we'll see how that works out. Here's Joey Butler. Up and in to him.
Well, for Jared Weaver, it's all about taking the hitter out of his comfort zone. He just wants to find not the barrel of the bat, whether it's the handle, the end of the bat, move the ball around and try to induce weak contact.
And you see that slow curve, and he had Butler way out in front. Well, this is exactly what you're talking about here.
You know, and here's the thing. He doesn't have the top end velocity, so what he does is continue to subtract from his bottom end velocity. And it makes that 85-mile-an-hour fastball, which, you know, he'll cut it a lot to right-handers. It's subtle, but just trying to move away, again, trying to take the ball from the barrel of the bat to the end of the bat. That's what he is all about.
Up the left side, that's going to be a fair ball. Back into the corner. And Butler's on his way to second. Well, he was out in front of the first slow curve, and 2-2 sends it into the corner.
I'm going to tell you, it's been really a lot of fun to watch Joey Butler, how consistent he's been, how he was able to make the adjustment and stay back on that slow breaking ball just enough to be able to keep it fair up the left field line. I'll tell you what, he's right now hitting the ball wherever you throw it. He goes with the pitch as well as anybody we've seen in this Rays lineup.
Now it's Evan Longoria. Evan, a .294 hitter in his career against Weaver. Pitch inside. Two and 0. See Longo there with 3 career doubles among the 5 hits and 17 at bats against Weaver. He takes that pitch down, a curveball. 3-0.
Now Jared Weaver being very careful here with Evan Longoria after falling behind. It wants no part of a mistake out over the plate.
And that's ball 4. So he walks Longoria.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Angel defense. In the outfield left to right, we have Matt Joyce, Mike Trout, and Cole Calhoun. Across the infield third to first, we have Kyle Kavitsa, Eric Ibar, Johnny Giavotella, and Albert Pujols, with Carlos Perez back behind the plate.
Well, the cleanup hitter tonight for the Rays is David DeJesus, the 5th time this year he's been in the number 4 spot for the Rays. He'd gone through his entire career coming into this game hitting once as the number 4 hitter. And he's up with a couple of men on base here in the bottom of the first. Longoria at first with a walk. Butler had doubled, his 9th double of the year. And the breaking ball misses for ball 2.
Right now having trouble with the strike zone. You know, he fell behind Longoria and then was very careful with him. So that was almost like an unintentional, intentional walk. But here, falling behind David DeJesus, not part of the game plan, because you do not want to walk here, walk the bases loaded. So you're going to have to come out over the plate. DeJesus knows that.
And DeJesus with a couple home runs in his career and a couple doubles as well against Jared Weaver.
Well, this is where, as a hitter, you've got to stay disciplined, because you want to swing real bad right now. 2-0. Make sure it's a good pitch.
And he fouls it off speed. How about that?
Well, that's the thing. David DeJesus wants to swing 2-0. Jared Weaver knows that. Knows he's got to throw a strike. So what's he do? He comes change up, and David is just a little bit out in front and fouls that pitch off.
Now, what a smart selection for a pitch like that, because the guy hitting in the middle of the order with men on base can't wait.
No.
Up the right side, and that's going to be foul. Out of play.
No, and even with that delivery right there, you know, that was almost a BP fastball. You know, and so he goes change up, and that's not even the fastball 85, 86. That one was 82, 83. So it's just like a BP fastball. You just don't throw it as hard, and guess what? Now he's way out in front and hooks it foul.
So Weaver has worked his way back to a 2-2 count. Liner gonna be caught by Ibar and back to second. Out the call. Boy, somehow he got that ball back to second, and somehow Giovitella made the pickup to double off Butler.
And let's see if he had control of it in time, because at the first glance the flip eludes him as Joey Butler's trying to get back. Does he corral it in time? I don't think he does. I think Joey Butler's going to stay there.
You know, that's a very good question.
And the umpire out there, Mike Estabrook, is screened out by the body of Giovitella.
Yeah, and Kevin Cash says, let's take a look at that. And again,
right,
you hope that there's a view.
Or they're going to side with him.
Yeah.
If you can't see it definitively in the front of his body, you're right. This is not going to go the Rays' way. But I'm telling you right now, Giovitella did not have that ball in time.
There are a couple things at play there. Number one, did he have control of the ball? Number two, his foot lost contact with the bag. So there are a couple things in there that could mitigate toward the Rays, but it's got to be, as we've said so often, it's got to be definitive, clear and convincing. See, a couple times the foot's off the bag, and then he's still trying to wrestle control of the baseball.
I'm going to go with overturned, Dwayne. I'm going overturned. The inning continues. The Rays get another shot here.
Well, Logan Forsythe would be the hitter up there. You'd like to see him get another opportunity.
And it could be both. They may get him on the foot off the bag. I don't think he had control either.
I think they have two opportunities to overturn this one.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Boy, that's very difficult. Let's see. They're close. And it's safe. So the Rays get the call overturned. Just a soft liner caught by Ibar. And the inning will continue. So the Rays come up with an overturned call on the challenge. And Butler still at second with Longoria at first. Two on, two out for Logan Forsythe. Logan hitting .275. He takes a strike. Forsythe 2 out of 6 in his career against Weaver. He and Souza each have 26 runs batted in, sharing the lead on the club in that category. And a pop-up short right field. Calhoun coming in, and he makes the catch to retire the Rays, who lead 2 in their half of the first and do not score. We go to the second inning here at the Trop. Erasmo Ramirez wasn't out there long enough to work up a hunger. Just 4 pitches, 1, 2, 3 in the first. And here's Calhoun to begin the second.
I think that was a purposeful take there by Calhoun because of that. But you know what's not a surprise? The swing percentage on Erasmo's first pitch, if he qualified in innings, would be good enough, tied for third in the American League. Teams know he's pounding the zone, so they're out swinging.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He'd be with the Carrascos, the Samardzes, the Hugheses.
Getting it done early.
The Ramirez's.
Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's ahead of Calhoun. Calhoun had a big night last night. 3 hits and 4 runs batted in and a run scored. Big offensive night for the Angels last night with 15 hits. Third time they've done that. Calhoun is out on strikes. Changeup got him.
It's not often that you can recap an inning on pitch by pitch, but this is it. Eric Ibar, first pitch of the ball game. Well, I'll tell you what, that was right down in Trout's wheelhouse too. Those pitches down in the zone, get away with one there, and then Pujols knocks David DeJesus over in left field.
4 pitches in the first. Calhoun out on 4 pitches to open the second. And there's ball 1 to Carlos Perez. Fly ball center field. Here comes Kiermaier. That takes care of Perez. 2 up, 2 down.
You know what? Keep this pace up. Get him a run or 2, and then let's go watch the Lightning. What do you say?
Sounds like a great idea.
I like it.
Former Ray Matt Joyce will be up here.
I'll tell you the one thing that Ramirez can do, any pitcher, when you know teams are coming out swinging early off of you, you can really take advantage of that. Entice.
Ground ball. The throw to first takes care of Joyce out of the shift. The Rays get Joyce. Cabrera to Franklin. Steven Souza Jr. will open the bottom of the second. No score.
If you have a question for BA or Dwayne, you can ask ask us using the hashtag WebWednesday on Sun Sports Rays on Twitter or sunsportsrays@gmail.com. Guys, the first one of the night is coming from Frank Bliss. With the mix of pitchers, do you expect the Rays to be above 500 on the season so far?
Here's Souza taking a cut at this one and lofting a high popper. Boy, that is about as high as you're going to get toward the center of this dome without contact up there. And Ibar handles that. Then on 2 pitches, Steven Souza Jr. is out number 1 in the bottom of the 2nd inning here. Well, pitching continues to carry the Rays, and it's going to determine where they finish, whether it's going to be over 500 or in this race all the way down the line.
This is like 1 through, well, you can't even say 4 because they're better than that. Look at that. Those starters, the quality of starters that are on the disabled list right now, but the Rays continue to be able to mix and match and get it done. This team is 2nd in the American League in starters earned run average. And, obviously that's where it begins. The bullpen's been outstanding on top of that. So
Cabrera makes the turn at first, picking up a 1-out single. Well, when you take a look at all that talent right there, I mean, Archer has taken it to another gear, and he's the guy who now has to lead the charge, pitching deep into games to give the Rays a respite there. And Odorizzi, at least the initial indications are that it's not going to be an extended time away, that it's more of a moderate oblique issue there. Right now, as you can see, they're tops overall in the American League in team ERA. And Matt Moore continues to make progress. So where the Rays finish and how they stay in this race largely will be determined by how soon Odorizzi can safely get back to full strength and how Matt Moore gets back. And things have been positive so far each step along the way. And if they could get those 2 guys back again, then you start to fill out that top part of your rotation with some innings, because they're going to have to get innings from somewhere.
Yeah, and you could be getting them back around the same time. That really could work out, that one pops back in and the other one's not too far behind. And you're right, up until then, for the next however long that is, a couple of weeks, a month, on a long side of things, the innings is where it's going to come into play, because you've got Archer going deep and your other 4 starters are going to be, kind of the way that they've been used. Carnes, Colome, Ramirez, you see them, they go 5 1/3, maybe they get 6 out of them. And your bullpen has to eat up some innings. And instead of it being just with 3 starters, it's now going to be with 4. And that's where the Rays will have to get creative with their bullpen use.
And so they're going to have to do that until they get those couple of arms back to help fill out the rotation. Another walk. So first and second as Franklin draws a 4-pitch walk, pushing Cabrera to second or Rene Rivera. Runners go. Pitch popped up. That's going to be out of play. A foul ball back over the screen. The Rays continue to be aggressive, and we've seen them. They really love that double steal.
They really do. If they've got 2 guys out there, and there aren't many guys the Rays won't run with, boy, you get an opportunity with 2 guys that can run, an opportunity for a double steal, and against a pitcher that there's been a lot of action against. There's been 13 stolen base attempts against Jared Weaver so far this year, 10 successful.
And that's the history on him. He had one year they had 27 steals against him. Last year, 25. This one is popped up short right. Vitello out there from second to make the catch. So 2 outs. Rays had a couple of men on in the first and could not get anybody home. Now 2 men on with 2 men out in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
When you watch Jared Weaver out of the stretch and watch how deliberate he is in trying to make a pitch, you understand completely why teams are going to try to run against him. His leg kick isn't that high, but it's still very deliberate. It's a deliberate delivery.
Pitch to Kiermaier. Down and in, popping away, but Perez recovers quickly and no chance for Cabrera to move up.
You know, and the reason that he can't rush that delivery, watch when you see him pitch here, there's this ball into the dirt, watch the arm swing. He's got a very long arm swing. So in order for that to, yeah, you see how long that arm swing is, you can't rush that delivery. You've got to slow things down a little bit. That, unfortunately, for Jared Weaver, allows the running game to get kicked into gear.
A good look at that one down. 2-0. Two balls and a strike. There's variations of off-speed stuff, and you could argue that the fastball is off-speed to begin with.
Well, we've seen it anywhere from, we've seen the good fastball at 85. We've seen a little BP fastball at 82. We've seen the changeup. We've seen him cut it just a little bit. He'll change speeds on the breaking balls.
Good cut, a foul ball back. You take almost every pitch and just drop it down roughly 10 miles per hour on him. Perez with a visit.
Well, and that's why you don't see many guys like that pitch anymore. And if you do, they're veterans and they know how to use that stuff. They know how to subtract more than they add. You got to move the ball around and just constantly change your looks.
Ground ball, that's going to go through the right side. Cabrera is on his way to the plate. Throw cut off, run scores, and everybody's safe at second and third. Pujols tried to go down to second to get Kiermaier. A little hesitation there, and the ball dropped. So Cabrera scores, and the Rays lead 1-0.
The hesitation by Albert Pujols was caused by Kevin Kiermaier stopping dead in his tracks before second base. And then when he continues on, then Pujols is going to try to ramp it back up and throw, and it causes a bad throw. Now watch it, they got him here, but Kiermaier stops, he pump fakes, now he's got to throw flat-footed, and it's a bad throw.
So an RBI single for Kiermaier. He winds up at second. Franklin's at third with Cabrera crossing the plate. And it's 1-0 Rays. Butler chops it foul for a strike. Well, Joey Butler doubled his first time, and he's been hotter than anybody in this lineup for quite a while now.
Boy, and a chance here to drive in a couple. Get yourself a hit, absolutely, but almost anything is going to score Kiermaier from second.
Inside, 1-1.
Rays have an opportunity, a great opportunity here to get a big inning out of a two-out situation.
It's fouled out of play. 1-2. Weaver, an 18-game winner last year. He was 18-9. Took a shot. That pitch a little wide. 2-2. And now the count is full. Could not get Butler to chase that last pitch to take it all the way out. Ground ball third, backhanded by Kubica, and now the run will score, and there's a throw back to second to get the tag. And the Rays get a run out of that. How about that?
What a mistake by the rookie.
Franklin crosses the plate. And so the Rays add a run.
And you can chalk that one up to Kevin Kiermaier, too, because he was bearing down on Kubica so quick that he got his attention. Indecision.
C.J. Cron's going to lead it off, and he takes the first pitch down there for a strike around the knees. So Cron, the DH, and the Rays coming away with 2 runs in something of an unconventional way, but forcing the issue on the bases. And so they come up not with 1 but 2 runs in the bottom half of the second inning.
Well, Kevin Kiermaier caused a bad throw from Albert Pujols and a bad decision by Kyle Kubica just by being aggressive on the base paths.
Well, he caused Kubica to assume that he can make a play and tag him, but that assuming business gets you into trouble.
Well, watch. Hey, he comes born in on third base, and Kubica right here out of the corner of his eye sees him as he's going to throw to first and says, well, he's just going to run into a tag. I'll just go ahead and tag him. Well, now he peels back, can't get the out at first, run's going to score. Poor decision. And, you know, we talk about this often. Making assumptions in baseball. It goes back to Morris Buttermaker.
Yes, it does.
And he taught us about that. And it's never a good thing to do.
No. 2-2 popped up. That's going to carry right back out of play. And you can see how it all breaks out here. Made a nice pickup and then made that assumption mistake.
He's thinking, you know what, I don't even make a throw here. He's going to run right into my tag. And then as soon as Kiermaier puts the brakes on, now the brain starts to lock up and you're like, uh-oh.
chop. Cabrera. Oh, it gets beneath Cabrera. Cron with a turn. He's going to hang on at first. Well, that ball stayed down on Cabrera.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. The way that this stayed down and away from Cabrera and how slowly it was rolling, a good thing that Kevin Kiermaier was backing this play up aggressively. Because if he's not, then Cron should have, could have been on second base. But Kiermaier busted it in and barehand that ball and got it back in to keep Cron at first base.
They're going to rule out a base hit for Cron. And here's Kubica, the rookie third baseman, making his major league debut tonight. Pitch is outside to him. Take another look at what you're talking about there, B.A.
As soon as it gets by him, look at him. He does not hesitate and makes a beeline because he knows Cron is going to be thinking about two and gets that ball back in there quickly. I'll tell you, he's making it happen tonight with his feet.
He certainly is. And I'll tell you, not only with the way he runs the bases, but the way he played center field there. Up the middle, that's a base hit for Kubica, and he has his first major league hit. Cron stops at second. There aren't many center fielders who would have held the base runner to first on that play.
No, not many come to mind because first of all, you assume the play's going to be made, and then when it's not, you're kind of jogging in after it, and by that time it's too late. If he doesn't break out like he did, I mean, you had Alfredo Griffin down there waving Cron to get down there and get to second base.
So 2 on with nobody out. Here's the number 9 hitter, Johnny Giovatella. Rays got 2 runs in the second inning, and the Angels an immediate threat in the third. Pitch inside. Kiermaier drove in a run, and Butler got credit for the RBI thanks to Kiermaier in the bottom of the second. Fielder's choice to end the inning, as it turns out, but the run scored before that out was made. And so Butler gets a run batted in because of the distraction created by Kiermaier. Fastball high, and the count is 2-0. High fly ball back into center. Kiermaier back to make the catch. Tag. Second by Cron, and the throw trails in as Cron moves in standing up. Kiermaier made a play of it, holding it first. Kubica.
And you know what else Kiermaier did? Cron was able to move up, but he kept the throw low enough that Kubica did not head towards second for fear of maybe that ball gets cut off and they get him at second base. So at least he kept the throw low enough that Kubica had to stay at first.
Now back around to the top of the order. Eric Ibar. 1-0. Ramirez falls behind 2-0.
Well, this is where you could use one of those ground balls you were talking about earlier that Ramirez has been doing a better job of getting.
Yeah, his ground ball percentage over 50% of balls put into play. It's 39% last year. And he has Ibar swinging over that pitch out in front. 2-1.
And I'm still waiting for an explanation on the 50% ground ball rate. when the ratio is 2-1.
It's new math.
And I don't get it.
Ground ball, but it's going to go through. Crone will score. Kubica turns second. Now he's going to be caught between second and third. Longoria will run him back to the bag. So Kubica runs into the second out. He's having a tough time here. They score a run on the base hit. Kubica is the second out of the inning, and it's a 2-1 ball game right now.
Well, he's thinking that he's going to be able to get back to the bag. Doesn't actually do that, but Eric Ibar's already on it, so it wouldn't have mattered. However, it was coming around second base where another poor decision by Kubica is going to test the arm of Steven Souza Jr., and he would have thrown him out by a mile, and then by the time he pulls up, it's too late.
So now Ibar's at second, and Mike Trout is at the plate. Well, you talk about some strange developments in this game.
I mean,
wow.
I mean, between the decision down at third base to go after Kiermaier and think you're going to tag him, and then obviously the base running blunder there, sandwiched around your first major league hit. Interesting night here so far for Kyle.
There's a breaking ball in for a strike. There's another look at all that.
And Souza's like, really, you're going to go?
He goes, well, maybe not. I'll go back the other way. Well, there's a guy home there already. And he came up a little short and was tagged out.
86 feet baselines in AAA.
Pitch upstairs, now 1-1. Run, 3 hits for the Angels. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Rays. That's a strike. Fastball. It's 1-2. Well, Trout is hitting coming into this game .371 with men in scoring position. Calhoun is hitting .395 and Trout .371 with men in scoring position. Ibar is at second with 2 outs and a 1-2 count.
And Erasmo's not been great with runners in scoring position, but with 2 outs, he is. Figure that out.
Well, it fits right in with this game so far tonight. You hear so much and you talk so much about the rhythm of the game and the things that have happened, and they throw that right out the window.
Yeah, this isn't like like a really smooth dance, choreographed dance. This is more of a mosh pit type start to the night.
Now Trout steps back, and that provokes a trip to the mound by Rene Rivera.
Let's see if Rene Rivera gives signs here. This has always puzzled me. When you go out there and you're going to change the signs, you're going to do whatever. There you go. He's going to say you were just out there. Just tell him what you want to throw. You don't have to go back and put the signs down.
Yeah, because if you're not talking about that.
But you've seen it.
Yeah.
You see they'll go out there and they'll talk, come back, and all of a sudden start putting signs out. It's like you just were.
Maybe it's subterfuge.
Well, but if you were on second, you'd be like, guys, you were just talking. What are you doing back there?
And just a little piece of that went off the mid of Rivera, and Trout barely stays alive up there.
That's when I love when the catcher and the pitcher will use the fake shake. Like they'll actually give you a sign for you to shake just to maybe get in the hitter's head a little bit. You're not shaking off anything. You're just shaking your head. Hitter doesn't know that.
Another roller foul.
I'll tell you what, Erasmo Ramirez hanging around down in that zone where Mike Trout does a lot of damage, down in the zone. We see Ramirez every now and then elevate. This may be a good spot.
Two, and it's lined the other way. Fastball into right. Ibar will score, and the game is tied. So Trout drives in his 34th run.
Well, you mentioned it. Clutch with runners in scoring position, sensing the opportunity. That ball, they wanted it away, and it just leaked right back to the middle of the plate, and Trout does a nice job of staying inside that baseball and shooting it out to Souza in right.
Angels back to tie the game in the third. And here is Albert Pujols. He takes a strike. Well, Buick's big matchup highlights Albert Pujols in his last 11 games. 8 of his 16 home runs on the year, hitting .395. He lined to left his first time. Jumped on the first pitch he saw. And that ended the first. 1-1. Well, at this point, a 26-pitch inning for Ramirez, so the 4-pitch first and the 7-pitch second have come in handy. Two and one. You see Pujols with 536 home runs, tied with Mickey Mantle. Next up would be Mike Schmidt. And he had him out in front. Reaching a bit, and the count is 2-2.
Yeah, and this recent hot stretch by Albert Pujols, he has not really expanded his strike zone, especially when he's been ahead in the count like he was right there, 2-1, and going after a pitch that's nowhere near being a strike.
Well, he is, when you break him down, among the league leaders in home runs per at bat, and also among the league leaders in tough to strike out. He's not chasing many pitches. And the count goes full. Sweeping slider, and that was an easy take for him.
Yeah, if he chases that, I'd take down the bag of M&Ms myself.
A lot riding on that pitch then for Ramirez. He likes his M&Ms. 3-2. Popped up foul, back out of play. Crone has scored. Ibar has scored. 2 runs, 4 hits in the inning. And the count is full on Pujols. 30 pitches now in the inning. Liner foul up the left side.
Well, he's tried just about everything here with Pujols, which is the way that you have to pitch him right now. You got to come in, you got to try to make him feel uncomfortable somehow. Changing speeds, changing locations, staying out of patterns, changing eye levels. 3-2, your options are limited. And you got to make a pitch here, and you've got to present it well.
And he got him. He hit him with the pitch. So that pushes Trout up to second. Pujols takes over at first.
Well, Erasmo Ramirez, no stranger to hitting batters. This is his 6th of the season, and just fingers on the side of that baseball. Never got it to its spot.
Well, he's going to face Cole Calhoun, who's been so good with mid in scoring position, and he'll have Trout at second and Pujols at first in this prolonged inning for Erasmo Ramirez. Jim Hickey heads back to the dugout. He had 11 pitches through the first 2. Right now he's made 43 in this game so far, 32 here in the 3rd inning. And here's Calhoun off a 3-hit, 4 RBI night last night. A little number picked up by Ramirez, and the throw to first in time to retire the side. Long inning, 2 runs scored. We're tied 2-2.
Up for the community campaign, and this month, June, is Raise Up for Kids. Chris Archer is the ambassador for Raise Up for Kids, and today, guys, a couple of players, a couple of Brandons went over to All Children's Hospital. Brandon Geyer, Brandon Gomes, along with the mascot Raymond, and the young 3-year-old kid Vance was a big star today, wore that Superman gear, and Superman Vance and Brandon Gomes had a big connection, and so does Evan Longoria as he connects into left center field for a home run to give the Rays a lead, 3-2. Longoria with a solo home run to start the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and the Rays lead 3-2. So, guys, a big day for the Raise Up community program and the Raise Up for Kids. Back to you.
Longoria's 6th home run of the year comes on the first pitch in the bottom of the 3rd. His first career home run off Weaver, although he's had some success against this right-hander. And Weaver can be prone to the home run. That's the 14th he's given up so far this year. Gave up 27 last year, and he's on a pace to give up about 30% more this year.
Well, when you pitch with less stuff, you had better be right in your assessment of the pitch you're going to go with, and the location had better be good. If it's out over the plate, that's the risk that you run. He was victimized in his last start for 3 home runs against the New York Yankees. And then this pitch down and away. How about that plate coverage by Evan Longoria, getting all the way out there and able to take that to left center field with authority.
And DeJesus hits one back into left. Joyce goes back and makes the catch. He had the hustle to get back there to keep that ball from going over his head. Well, the Rays on one swing of the bat retake the lead in the bottom of the third. Here's Logan Forsythe. Pitch is over for a strike. It catches the corner. 0-2. Paul Nart working the plate tonight. Veteran umpire. And he will give the pitcher a little more leeway. He's known to have something of a large strike zone. Two and two. Down to third. Kubica up with this one in the throw to first in time. So the rookie handles that one and throws a strike across the diamond to Pujols. 2 outs following the home run by Evan Longoria. Steven Souza Jr. Pops it up. Foul ball. Perez, the catcher, is there, and the Rays are out in the third. But they take the lead on a home run by Evan Longoria, his 6th home run of the year. And through 3, it's 3-2 Tampa Bay. The 22nd of May has given the Rays a 3-2 lead. It's Carlos Perez taking ball one. Fastball from Raisel Ramirez. Pitch in the neighborhood of 90 or 91. There's a strike. Rasmo back out after a prolonged third. He faced 7 hitters and made 33 pitches. And a check by Perez on that pitch as it wound up low and outside.
And the ironic thing about that is he was so good in the first 2 innings that he's kept himself right on pace. Things have not gotten out of hand as far as the pitch count goes.
Yeah, about 15 pitches an inning is where he's been this year, and that's where he is tonight. Perez is out, Forsythe to Franklin. Well, tonight we raise up for Miguel, and starting right now, Miguel, once a homeless team, will be the first in his family to graduate from high school. Hopes to go to college and get his degree in business. How do you raise up? There's Matt Joyce. Joyce out short to first his first time on a ground ball to the left side with Cabrera, a lone defender over there, and the same thing this time. 1-0 the count to Joyce. Two balls and a strike. Two the count to Joyce. C.J. Cron on deck. 1 out, bases empty. Count holds at 2-2. Matt got off to a slow start with the Angels. He had a 9 for 72 stretch, and recently up in the mid 270s. Ground ball, and that'll be handled by Forsythe out of the shift. So 2 up and 2 down in the 4th inning. Remember, fans, you can send a tweet during tonight's game to @SunSportsRays, including the hashtag TuneInRays, and be entered for a chance to win autographed team gear and more. So stay tuned for the Rays Live postgame show, and there find out if you're tonight's lucky winner. C.J. Cron swings and misses. Cron had a hot spell last year and then tailed off and struggled earlier. Some of the opposing pitchers found that you might be able to expand the zone on him a little bit. And now Ramirez is up 0-2. They tried it there as he lays off. Sweeping slider, and the count is a ball, 2 strikes.
And the way that you do that is that ball has to come out of your hand in the strike zone. It can be on the fringe of the strike zone, but it has to be in the strike zone, and then you sweep it off.
And that's a little better right there.
Yeah, that's how you get the swings and misses. When a hitter, even a guy that's willing to expand his zone, if he sees the ball out of the hand already as a ball, well, it's a non-competitive pitch. So you just present it just a little bit better, and then you'll get your strikeout.
Upstairs with a fastball. 2-2. The right side, Souza Jr. after it, but that's out of play. All the way beyond the bullpen mound goes Souza after it. pitch got him on the hand.
Paul Nart is asking, did he swing? Because it sounded like that hit bat and hand.
Sure did. And I think there's Kevin Cash coming out. And he'd like a clarification.
That's exactly. It looked like it got the bottom of the hand and the bottom of the bat.
Mm-hmm. And listen to it. Yeah, that sounds like got the bat as well. And I think for sure, you know, the hand and the bat, and that's the conversation going on here with Kevin Cash.
Well, it was right in that wrist area. You got the butt end of the bat is going to, you know, stick out of there, so you can absolutely have it hit both.
So Crone takes his base, hit by a pitch. The call. Seventh batter hit this year by Ramirez. And now here's Kyle Kubica. Missed the off-speed pitch for a strike. Kubica was at Salt Lake. The Angels got him from the Atlanta organization, making his major league debut tonight. One and one. Cut the miss. Again, the off-speed pitch. So both strikes, he's been out in front.
Ramirez has a very good changeup, and it really mimics his fastball. Good arm speed. He spins it well, coming out of the hand. That is his swing and miss pitch for the most part. And you got a young, anxious hitter up there right now.
And he got him right back with the change. We're going to head into the bottom of the fourth. The Rays lead 3-2. By H.H. Craig. Top brands, low prices, fast delivery. Greg's got it. And by Morgan Auto Group. Make it Morgan. We make it happen. Beautiful skies here this evening in the Tampa Bay area. A little rain today. And significant rain at that.
I left the gym and swam to my truck. It was a great end of the workout.
Yeah, you're training for a triathlon then, right?
I'm going to do the Tough Mudder.
One strike to count on Cabrera. Franklin next, and then Rivera. Toward the line, Joyce on the run, gets there and makes the catch. That's the first out. So Nick Franklin, who has a run scored tonight, he walked on 4 pitches in the second. And the Rays turned that into a run. Now he shortens on the bat. Takes the pitch inside. And now a bunt. He gets it by the mound. And that's a base hit. So Franklin bunts his way out, got it by the mound. Giovatelli, the second baseman, in a last-ditch effort, tried the barehanded pickup and could not come up with it.
Well, the key to this play is getting the bunt past the pitcher. If you do that and the second baseman is playing at normal depth, which he is, then it's going to be a hit just about every time. It's going to take a heck of a play by Giovatelli. And, you know, Nick Franklin, listen, he's not been swinging the bat well at all from the left side, so sometimes the way you break out of that, you get that bunt down, you get a hit, little confidence, and then things start to pick up for you.
Well, he's been on base twice tonight, and he has to feel good about that. Here's Rene Rivera, who popped out to second his first time. Want to know the count? Washington beat the Yankees in 11 innings, 5-4. And the Blue Jays won again. They beat the Marlins in Toronto 7-2. There goes Franklin. The pitch is low, and the throw is not in time out in front. And a stolen base for Franklin. His first attempt, and he's in there safely.
Well, teams, we told you the will run on Jared Weaver, and Franklin, a good jump there and steals that bag relatively easy. Boy, a full head of steam.
So a man in scoring position for Rivera. Too high. The Rays have had men in scoring position in each of the first 4 innings. And that pitch stays inside. Trying to throw him the curveball, and that's the third walk given up by Weaver. Weaver had walked 10 in 76 and a third innings coming into this game. And that's 3 walks so far tonight.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic. One of the lowest rates in the American League. And that's going to bring out Mike Butcher, the pitching coach.
Well, we're in the 4th inning, and the Rays about to start their 3rd time through the order against Weaver. Kuczynski up in the bullpen. So action down in the bullpen as the Angels talk it over on the mound. Throw your boots on and enjoy country songs of Lee Brice after the Rays play the White Sox coming up this Saturday. See Lee Brice, the latest featured post-game concert act, one of Nashville's hottest country stars singing hits such as I Don't Dance. For more information, visit RaysBaseball.com/concerts. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. He takes a big cut and a miss at the off-speed pitch.
Could not wait back long enough. Jared Weaver taking a ton off of that delivery.
Inside, 1-1. High fly ball. Too deep to right center. And that's Trout making the catch. And a throw toward third with the runners holding. So 2 outs.
Number 9, Joey Butler.
Well, Joey Butler will have an opportunity. He has a double in 2 trips and a run batted in. Hitting .330 on the year right now. He's trying to add to their 1-run lead. And a good take there on the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think it's safe to say that Jared Weaver is slightly annoyed with Paul Nart and some of these calls. You know, he gives you that look. He's got that look.
It's hard to tell the difference.
It's the long, you know what it is? It's the long stare, and it's the head moving ever so slowly away from eye contact. Like, come on.
Ground ball chopped to short, charged by Ibar. And the throw to first in time. The Rays threaten, do not score. They leave 2. We go to the 5th, 3-2 Tampa Bay. In 1921, Yankee slugger Babe Ruth hit his 120th home run. This one came off Indian pitcher Jim Bagby, and Ruth became baseball's career home run leader with 120, a position the Sultan of Swat held until Hank Aaron hit number 715 in 1974. On to the 5th we go. Johnny Giovatello leads off, the number 9 hitter. Well, here he is leading off again, hitting ninth. He led off 3 times in the game last night. And precisely why Mike Scioscia hits him ninth.
And, you know, and he'd probably like a little bit more production out of the 8-hole.
Well, there is that, too. Well, in case you don't get it, you got this guy to lead off an inning, and he's, in a sense, another leadoff man for you.
He's a pest. You know, he's one of those guys, and you know, I know you were talking before the game. That's why. That's what that drives you crazy. He'll hit the ball the other way. He does everything that's been, you know, asked of him at second base and in the batting order with his batting style. And you were saying before the game how he would be such a good fit on a team like the Rays.
Oh, he'd be perfect on the Rays.
He really would. That kind of mindset, selfless, and a nice job of taking that ball away and shooting it out into right field.
And we saw what kind of power he has out in Los Angeles. He'll surprise you with that once in a while. Now it takes a line drive into right for a leadoff single, and here is Ibar, a line drive down to third. They're going to get a double play.
Get out of here.
How about that? Longoria in at third base, and that ball a low liner. If he doesn't catch it, it's dangerous.
No, you're right, because he wasn't even with the bag. He was way in at third to take the bunt away. And boy, this is like a goalie. I mean, rocket shot. What a save. And then doubles off Giovatello.
And appreciated by Erasmo Ramirez. And boy, what a shot off the bat of Ibar with Longoria pulled in the way he was.
And you know what? I'll tell you, we learned one thing here tonight already. And that is, if you're going to go one-timer on Longoria, you got to go stick side. You don't go glove.
Well, I couldn't disagree with that. 2-0. Well, there are times when I guess a third baseman might feel like a goalie, and that's one of them. 2-1 the count on Mike Trout. A great play down there at third by Evan. Three and one. Ramirez now at 75 pitches. Big cut. And Trout fouls it. The off-speed pitch and some lift in that swing.
And that's what he does. That's why that ball down becomes so dangerous, because he can lift it. He's got tons of power, 16 home runs, and loves that ball in that spot.
Fouls a fastball back. Good cut there.
Yeah. Another pitch to handle, and you think you
just kind of hold your breath.
But you know, and you're Ramirez, you know that. As soon as you let the ball go, a lot of times you'll be like, I don't like where this is headed. Very fortunate when it's just fouled off. Ooh.
Oh, and he takes that one. Strike 3 call. Okay. Ramirez and the Rays take that one. Evan Longoria is going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. He's the difference in this game right now. 3-2 Rays. Middle of the fifth, Rays up 3-2 in the game tonight and all season. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Evan connected in the third, and he opens the bottom of the fifth. Takes that slow breaking ball at 66 miles per hour for a strike. And he pops the next pitch into shallow center off speed. Giovatella out from second base makes the catch in center field.
It's not often that you step into the batter's box and the first two pitches that you see are 66 miles an hour and 72 miles an hour and it not be a knuckleball. But that's the way that he pitches, and Longoria just could not sit back on the 72 mile an hour. I'm assuming changeup, off speed changeup.
Well, here's David DeJesus. He's lined to short and has lined to left. And goes after it and pops it up on the right side. Pujols after it. That ball's going to be out of play. Look out. Perez, the catcher, full speed ahead and wound up getting acquainted in an abrupt sort of way with the railing in front of the Rays dugout.
Well, if they could have gotten there, they had a chance to make the play. That's what you're talking about. Perez is going to go down. You know, he senses the low wall coming up, the railing, and I'm not going to make the play anyway, so let me get down. I could still get dangerous. You get that foot caught in that netting.
So DeJesus takes the next pitch for a ball. It's 1-1.
Speaking of railings, they took the baseball out of the railing in the Angel dugout.
Line drive into center. Trout is there to make the catch. That's the second out. And that was lodged in there last night and stayed there for the remainder of the game last night. We'll never see that again. Foul ball that wound up right in that vacant spot and stuck.
And they left it. When they left the dugout last night, they left it stuck right in there, but someone's got it.
Logan Forsythe takes that curveball. That one even softer at 64 miles per hour. There's a base hit through the hole. Well, they got a mid-80s fastball. A two-out single for Logan.
Now this is a little bit more to Logan's liking. And so is the location, middle of the plate.
Now Steven Souza Jr. 0 for 2, trying to shake out of an 0 for 20. And a cut and a miss, strike one. Back in is Forsythe. Weaver working in the bottom of the fifth. The foul outside of third. Steve Geltz is up in the Rays bullpen down the right field side. Off the plate, 1-2. Weaver at 75 pitches on the night. Again, an rely on foresight.
Well, Jared Weaver has already seen the Rays take off on him a couple of times. Nick Franklin swiping a bag, an attempted double steal. And with 2 outs, you try to get another man in scoring position here with a 1-run lead. Rays are more aggressive when they have the lead.
And another right side picked up by Weaver, and the toss to Pujols in time to retire the Rays. They leave a man, and we're through 5. 3-2 Tampa Bay. Ramirez for a little FaceTime after he worked 5 innings and leaves this game with a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, well deserved. He had 1 rough inning, and that was in the 3rd. Gave up a couple of runs, but outside of that, he gets some help with his defense. Got off to a quick start before that 3rd inning, and that was a big pitch there. That fastball down and away and locking up Mike Trout, finishing his night.
Steve Geltz will follow Ramirez to the hill. Geltz was in the game, worked a 1-2-3 9th inning last night.
Well, the first bridge towards the back end of the bullpen. Steve Geltz on hump day often does his best work.
Well, he'll face Albert Pujols. Pujols 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch. The 3rd. And a line drive caught by Franklin on the shortstop side of the bag. And actually, that's Forsythe over there. Franklin's at first base.
That's the way that the Rays have been doing it with the infield. I mean, they have been mixing and matching and moving guys around.
So Forsythe out of the shift takes care of the liner off the bat of Pujols. And here's Cole Calhoun.
The shift against Calhoun. You've got Evan Longoria out towards second base, as Drupal Cabrera the one hanging back in case of the bunt.
And a cut and a miss on the fastball. Strike 1. Calhoun had seen the changeup, and in fact that was the pitch that Ramirez got him out on twice tonight. Geltz started him with a good firm fastball. One and one. Rays at the moment 2 games back of New York. Yankees lost. Blue Jays won again. So the Blue Jays have moved to within 3 games of New York. 2-1 the count. Blue Jays have won 8 in a row. Scott Copeland in his first major league start picked up the win. And now ball 3 to Calhoun. Blue Jays hit 4 home runs in that game, led by Josh Donaldson, who hit his 17th. Russell Martin got number 9, Jose Reyes number 2, and Justin Smoke hit his 4th. Big cut and a miss. Calhoun aired it out on the 3-1 fastball.
Yeah, you know, Cole Calhoun, this is where you can be looking for a pitch, get a pitch, and still do nothing with it, as Geltz is able to bury this fastball 92 miles an hour middle in, and Calhoun just missed it. Got a little bit long with his swing.
Foul back, another fastball. It's Carlos Perez, the young catcher, on deck. Foul ball again on a fastball. Ramirez and Weaver the starting pitchers, and Geltz now in his first inning. Cut and a miss. Stayed with that fastball and got that one by him. So 2 up and 2 down. Reminder, fans, every Thursday is Throwback Rays Day, brought to you by Chrysler. Tune in tomorrow and post the best Rays vintage photo of yourself by using the hashtag Throwback Rays. We'll have the best photo selected and feature it in the post-game show. Slider misses Carlos Perez, 1-0. Two and 0. Two and 1. Well, the Rays got off to a 2-0 lead. Angels tied it with a couple in the top of the third. Longoria's home run to open the bottom of the third. The difference right now. Did he go? Yes, he did. And the count will go to 2-2.
Right on the call. I'll tell you, Geltz has been very effective with that heater here tonight. Good jump, good life.
And a cut and a miss. So he strikes out 2 in the inning. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. 3-2 Tampa Bay. the scoring in the second inning. Kevin Kiermaier, a big part of that, driving in the first run, scored the second. And then Ibar in the third drove in a run, followed by Mike Trout's RBI single. Tied the game at 2. Didn't stay that way long, though. First pitch in the bottom of the third. Kevin Longoria connected for his 6th home run of the year. The Rays lead 3-2. It's Mike Trout running under the fly ball off the bat of Asdrubal Cabrera. And we're 1 pitch and 1 out into the bottom of the 6th inning here at Tropicana Field.
Well, this game has sort of righted itself. It had a really weird, different kind of feel. Some interesting plays we've never seen before, decisions we've not seen before.
Yet it's had, I was going to say, a rhythm of its own, but it really hasn't had much rhythm at all.
It has the rhythm of Elaine from Seinfeld trying to dance. That's the kind of rhythm this game has.
There you go. One strike pitch lifted into center, and Trout is there to make the catch. So a couple quick outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's check in with Emily Austin right now. Emily?
Dwayne, we're still taking questions from everybody. Hashtag Web Wednesday, hashtag Ask Rays. You might make the broadcast. A lot of questions coming in about the draft. Guys, we want to know what your thoughts are on the Rays draft so far, and especially the Rays top pick, Garrett Whitley, the high school outfielder. What do you guys think?
Well, there's the breakout. Of course, Whitley out of high school. And it's always interesting. There was a general feeling, we touched on it the other night. Sometimes there's a feeling that maybe the high school player has a higher ceiling, as they sometimes say.
I got it.
It's going to be caught by Pujols. And Rivera is out to end the 6th inning. Talk more about the Rays draft when we come back with the Rays leading 3-2. Dealers. Rays leading as we go to the 7th inning. It's a 3-2 ball game. It has been that way since the 3rd. There are the first 2 picks in this year's draft for the Rays. Garrett Whitley out of high school in upstate New York outside of Albany, and Chris Betts. The Rays got him with the 52nd pick, and there were some who thought that he was going to go much higher. In fact, I think Baseball America had him 28th on their list. He's out of Woodrow Wilson High School in the Long Beach area. And there are a lot of people liked him as a hitter and a catcher. And I would recommend him because he worked out with Kurt Suzuki over the winter. So pretty good idea there if you're a young catcher. And you can be tutored by and work out with essentially an all-star catcher in the major leagues.
How important and sought after has that position become?
And there's a general feeling as Matt Joyce faces Kevin Jepsen, I think, general feeling that if you want a catcher, an everyday catcher, you're going to have to develop one yourself, because clubs are looking for catching all the time. Into left center field, Kiermaier over there for it, makes a nice grab. So Joyce is out number 1 here in the 7th. So 5 for Ramirez, 1 for Geltz, and now Jepsen is on.
Well, this is the game by the book for the Rays. You know, get 5 out of Erasmo Ramirez, have the lead, and then Geltz, Jepsen, and you're going to have some sort of combination, I'm assuming, of McGee and Boxberger if everybody can do their job.
C.J. Cron on twice, hit by a pitch his last time. Single to open the 3rd, came around to score. The pitch is a strike.
Well, Kevin Jepsen, the work that he did up in Seattle was so impressive. Getting a ton of work, some save opportunities, some tight spots, made big pitches.
It's 1-1. Jepsen closed out Archer's win on Sunday in that 3-1 game. He had closed out the Friday game up there, that 1-0 game. That's after he closed out the opening game when the Rays won 2-1 on Thursday. So 3 saves in that 4-game series for Jepsen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Orioles have scored a couple in the bottom of the 6th on the Red Sox at Baltimore, and it's 5-2 Orioles now as they continue to hit in the 6th inning. Ground ball headed to Cabrera. That'll be the 2nd out. So 2 up and 2 down. And here's what's coming up tomorrow as the series continues tomorrow on Rays Live. The pregame show is presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Alex Colomé on the hill. We'll hear from him, and Orestes will break down Kevin Kiermaier's game. And that's pretty interesting. And the Rays looking for more consistency out of Colomé and that strong right arm he takes to the mound. Cut and a miss by Kubica.
Well, going after the rookie once again with the changeup there by Jepsen. Very rarely see him go to that pitch. He's usually the high octane heater and the curveball, but that 85-mile-an-hour changeup gets the swing and a miss.
A liner into right. That's going to be in there for a base hit. So Kubica is 2 for 3 in his debut.
You know, you'll go back to his last at bat. Erasmo Ramirez struck him out. I think the last 3 pitches he threw him were changeups.
Yes.
Okay, well, listen, and the pitches here by Jepsen, both changeups. A changeup will lose its effectiveness if it's not offset by something else. Just one after the other, and you saw him obviously able to make the adjustment, fooled the first time, and then right on the 83-mile-an-hour changeup after that.
Yeah, you can have that same delivery, but you need a little pop on a pitch out of that same delivery, and then you have it in play again.
You at times have to get a guy off of a pitch, and sometimes you'll throw a fastball. You don't even need to necessarily throw it for a strike. Just show it to him. Show him the increase in velocity, and then go right back to the off speed.
1-0 the count to Johnny Giavotella. Opening pitch to him was a fastball approaching the mid-90s. There's a strike. Fastball, and it's 1-1. 5 innings for Ramirez and 1 perfect inning for Geltz. Takes it down. 2-1. Vitello with a home run against the Rays out in Anaheim. Came off Nathan Carnes. Hit a curveball out. Moved to first. Kravitz back in. And the fastball misses inside. 3 balls and a strike. Right now, each team with 6 hits. The Rays lead 3-2.
Well, and a big pitch or sequence of pitches here for Kevin Jepsen. You don't want to lose Vitello and go back to the top of the order with a runner in scoring position, a 1-run game.
And that is ball 4, fastball down. And that pushes Kravitz into scoring position. He's at second on the walk to the number 9 hitter. It's the first walk of the game by Rays pitching. And we go to the top of the order, Eric Ibar. Well, Ibar lined into the double play in the 5th. He singled, driving in a run, and later scored in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3 officially tonight.
Boy, he has a huge hole on the left side to work with. You know, that's where he lined out to Evan Longoria, but look at this gap right here.
First pitch, fastball in at 94 to start the at bat. Salas up in the bullpen for Los Angeles. Fastball again, foul back. 2 strikes the count to Ibar. Down and in. He came that time with a curveball. 1-2. Two on, 2 out. And a foul ball as he reaches out on the off-speed pitch and fouls it out of play.
Well, right now, Kevin Jepsen giving a little bit of everything to Ibar. He's seen the curveball, the heater, the changeup. Important at bat against a hitter who's been swinging the bat well for the Angels. One behind him been swinging the bat well with power. Pujols coming up. Tough spot right here. But you are up in the count 1-2 and can expand.
One, 2 upstairs with the fastball. Well, action pitch now. 2-2.
Yeah, you want to get something done here. Go 3-2, get everybody off and running.
Jemison delivers the fastball. It's chopped foul. Ibar, a tough out up there. He gives you battling at bats. The 2-2 again. Ground ball, second base. Forsythe makes the play, and the Angels lead 2. Rays will carry a 3-2 lead into the bottom of the 7th. Yours 2 for $5. By your Tampa Bay area Mazda dealers. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Kevin Kiermaier is going to lead off. That first pitch is a strike as he shortens up. Kiermaier, the top of the order. Joey Butler next, and then Evan Longoria against Jared Weaver. And a pop fly short right. Calhoun coming in with a full head of steam is there. One away. Well, with one out, the base is empty. Time now to check in with Todd Cowles. Todd?
Hey, Dwayne, a couple of questions on this Web Wednesday surrounding Desmond Jennings and the latest with him, the Rays outfielder we haven't seen in a while. Today he had arthroscopic surgery in Vail, Colorado, and they found that he had a little bit of inflammation in the plica band around his left knee. So the surgery was successful. No real timeline on that for Desmond Jennings, but Dr. Steven Singleton performed the surgery in Vail, and that was today, arthroscopic surgery to clean up the left knee. Guys, back to you.
All right, well, I guess if you have to have something done, Vail, not a bad place to do it, winter or summer.
Just that your mobility is limited.
But they've got a lot of experience in handling knees.
Oh, don't they?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Brad Boxberger up in the Rays bullpen. One and two. Ground ball, shortstop. High bar gloves and throws. So 2 up, 2 down in the 7th. Well, the Rays got 2 runs in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd on Evans' home run. There's a look. Tonight's high-def highlight brought to you by H.H. Gregg. The Longoria home run number 6, and that has given the Rays their lead tonight. Strike 1.
Well, we often see when Evan Longoria starts to get it going with the extra base hits, he'll get streaky. He hadn't had a home run in a couple of weeks. Popped that one good to left center field.
He tried to hold up, but that's a strike, and he's down 0-2. Yeah, we have seen Evan in the past getting those stretches where 4, 5, 6 home runs come in a hurry. Behind 1-2. Well, he'd missed a couple games because of the soreness in his left wrist. There's a big cut in the midst, and he is out on strikes out in front of the off speed. We're going to head into the 8th still. 3-2 Rays. Could be game changers looking at those two. The duo of Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. 32 home runs between the two of them, 16 apiece, and they top the list of that proverbial 1-2 punch.
Well, and the Rays have had a pretty good seat. Mike Trout got him a couple of times out in Anaheim. They've done a better job with him in this series, but Pujols has continued to terrorize him. You talked about how hot he was over his last 11 games coming into this one. He had 8 home runs. Well, half of them have come in 4 games against the Rays.
The Rays certainly hoping that has run its course. And Brad Boxberger will make his 24th appearance. And he'll face Trout with Pujols next, and then Calhoun set to follow, and a big cut and a foul ball by Mike Trout. Well, Boxberger had that tightness in his tricep, and he's in here in the 8th inning tonight.
Well, and the Rays extra cautious with Brad because of how important he is to their plan, their pitching plan, the back end of that bullpen.
Up and in, 1-1. He last worked a week ago That was in Anaheim against the Angels. And he was touched for a run in an inning and a third in that one. That was a 32 pitch outing. It's a strike, 1 and 2. Play. Trout's hit came in the third, a line single into right that drove in a run. Takes a pitch upstairs. Did not chase the high fastball, and the count is 2-2. These two guys, Trout and Pujols, boy, you better be ready to battle them when you're out there on the mound facing either one of them right now.
And especially, this could be their last at bat of the game. If things go the Rays' way. So they understand the gravity of the situation. They may be down to their last shot, so they're going to give you everything they got. Will not be easy.
And the count is full. Slider down and away. Hot shot foul. That's through the stands. 1-run ball game, top of the 8th. Boxberger dealing with Trout. Trout went to 3-2 in the 5th inning. Fouled off a couple pitches and then was caught looking and battling against Boxberger. Fastball in, and he fouls that one. This next pitch will be the 10th of this at bat for Trout. Three-two again, and he got him. He strikes him out on a fastball. Well, a 10-pitch battle, and Boxberger gets the strikeout.
Boy, it went on for a while, and it ended on just a heater at the belt, maybe just above the belt, right down the middle. And Mike Trout, you see that the lift in that swing where you get so much power and carry underneath that fastball.
There's Albert Pujols. And the first pitch strike. Well, you figure you're in for a battle with these guys, and Boxberger had one with Trout. Not easy, but he got him. Cut to miss. Little action on that fastball. 0-2.
Tries to get you in between. For the most part with Boxberger, it's the fastball and the changeup. He's thrown a curveball this year. He'll use every now and then, but the bread and butter is the fastball changeup and the way that he interacts with them.
Fly ball center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Kiermaier trying to gauge that one and laid out as he made the catch. 2 gone.
Well, and that ball wasn't hit that deep, and that's what made it so tough, because Kiermaier, the rest of the outfielders are playing no doubles. Look how deep he's playing, so he's got to come in a long way and get that ball before it hits the ground. Those plays always risky, because if if you misfire or it gets underneath you, that ball's going to roll back to the wall, and Albert Pujols is still.
Well, he's been the center of action tonight, Kiermaier, on the bases and in the outfield. Now here's Cole Calhoun. There's a first pitch strike. Calhoun out on a couple of occasions on strikes. Little nubber, barehanded by Boxberger, and the throw to first got him reaching down. Barehanded pickup, 1, 2, 3 in the 8th, and a fine play on the line drive by Pujols. The grab by Kiermaier. Rays took the lead in the third on the Evan Longoria home run. Kevin Kiermaier, another outstanding play in center field in the top half of the 8th on the line drive by Pujols. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. David DeJesus 0 for 3 against Jared Weaver, who's still out there. And he takes the first pitch for a ball. Starts him with that mid-60s curveball. 3 line drives for DeJesus against Weaver. 1 to short, 1 to left, and the last time to center. See if he can do something this time against him. Line drive and a base hit into right. Well, you hit enough line drives and one has to fall in. And DeJesus has a leadoff single.
Another off-speed delivery, and David DeJesus was able to keep the bat in the zone for a long time. Kind of flattens this swing out, gets around the baseball, and finally gets one to the turf.
Brings up Logan Forsythe. He takes a strike. Weaver working here in the 8th inning. Inside, Weaver does have a complete game. That was a shutout against Houston, 2-0, a little over a month ago on the 8th of May. 5 2/3 his last time out against the Yankees when he had the tough outing, giving up 7 runs, 9 hits. Tonight, 7 hits and 3 runs. And the Rays trying to add to this 1-run lead. They have a leadoff single from DeJesus. There goes the runner, and the pitch skied down the left field line. That's going to be out of play. A foul ball. It's 1-2. Weaver started this year by losing his first 4 decisions. Then he won 4 in a row and lost the last time out against New York. 2-2. A popper. Out goes Ibar. That curveball got Forsythe. So 1 out with the man aboard here in the 8th inning. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. Immediately following our coverage, Todd Anderesses will anchor coverage from their perch and left. Kevin Cash will have his usual press conference, and Emily Austin along with interviews from the clubhouse.
You know what the Rays need right now is to get Souza Jr. going. This is his 4th shot here at Jared Weaver. Maybe pick up on something and be able to get off the little downturn he's taken here recently.
It's been a tough stretch for him. A little popper to short, fouled out to the catcher Perez, and out pitcher first tonight. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw is in time. DeJesus called out at second by Mike Estabrook.
And Kevin Cash, you know he's going to want to take a look at this. It was so close. It looked like the throw may have been right into him, and it was. Nothing to see here.
Patella put the tag on him for the second out. The Rays lose that base runner. DeJesus caught for the second time this year. Pitch taken low by Souza. Jake McGee up in the bullpen. Down again, and it's 2-2. Hot shot, there's a base hit. Extra bases down into the corner. Souza heads to second, and that snaps it 0 for 21. Picking up his 9th double of the year. Well, that has to really take a load off him right now.
Yeah, you know, going through a stretch like this, a young rookie hitter, and sometimes this is all it takes. You know, left a pitch out over the plate and up a little bit. Boy, he hammered that ball down the line, and hopefully that gets him off and running.
And that gets Mike Scioscia out of the dugout, marching to the mound. With Asdrubal Cabrera due up. The Angels make a pitching change. Back in a moment. to you by Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife. Available exclusively at Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. By Kubota. For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Jared Weaver out after 103 pitches, 7 2/3. Fernando Salas, the new pitcher, making his 27th appearance. Missed on the first pitch to Asdrubal Cabrera. Well, it'd be nice for the Rays to pick up this extra run here with 2 outs. It's 1-1.
Yeah, any breathing room would be much appreciated by Jake McGee and try to come in and close this ball game out. 2-run lead. A whole lot more comfortable than 1. At least at that point, you kind of control it and you can keep that tying run in the on-deck circle.
Pickoff play at second. Souza's back in. That was Ibar breaking to the bag.
Well, Salas turning to the inside and trying to catch Souza Jr. off the bag as Ibar sneaks in.
Pitch outside. It's now 2-1. Cutting a miss on the fastball. Now 2-2. Shot deep into center field. Extra bases. A ground rule double, and that chases home Souza to give the Rays a 2-run lead, 4-2. Cabrera, a nice job of driving that one deep to center.
What if you think the scowl on Jared Weaver's face in the dugout was just that a minute ago? Imagine now. 2 outs, nobody on, and back-to-back doubles here by the Rays. A hanging changeup as Asdrubal Cabrera one-hops the Rays tank, and the Rays do double up on the lead, get it out to 2, and a chance for more.
Another man in scoring position. Nick Franklin. Pitch is down. Rays with a run on 3 hits here in the 8th. With 2 outs, doubles by Souza and Cabrera. Two and 0. So the run charged to Weaver. All 4 charged to him. Franklin missed the fastball. 2-1. Foul the other way, out of play. It's now 2-2. So Preston Gilbert trying to get loose in a hurry just in case the Rays should expand this lead enough. Meanwhile, Jake McGee, who had been up, is primed and ready. Two, and it's popped the other way, foul. And will carry out a play. Franklin tonight walked and scored a run in the second inning. Bunted his way on in the fourth, picked up a steal. A fly ball to center, caught by Trout in the sixth. And now he's 2-2 against Salas. Pops it up. The shortstop Ibar is going to handle it. And the Rays are finished in the eighth, but they add a run. They'll carry a 4-2 lead into the ninth. Rays carry a 4-2 lead into the ninth inning. Erasmo Ramirez working the front five for the Rays. Evan Longoria hit a tie-breaking third inning home run to make it 3-2. The Rays added another run in the eighth. And we'll go into the ninth as we take a look at that game summary brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. Jake McGee makes his 10th appearance. He'll face Carlos Perez, the catcher, and the first pitch is a strike call.
Well, you love that. 12 strikeouts, no walks from Jake coming back in 8 innings of work. Boy, he's not missed a beat.
2 quick strikes on Perez. A little piece of that fastball is fouled back. Another catcher, Carlos Perez, up here hitting. Matt Joyce due next, but their other catcher, Chris Iannetta, is on deck. Cut and a miss. Perez out on the fastball at 94.
And I'll tell you what, that swing by Carlos Perez was all about feeling for the baseball. That was not an aggressive swing at all. Fastball up and away. Look at him out there just kind of trying to just put it in play, foul it off. A very defensive swing. Overpowered.
Well, here is Iannetta. the hit for Joyce. And then a 1 out of 2 against Jake, a home run, and sends a fly ball to straightaway center, and it's caught by Kiermaier. Yeah, but not quite to the warning track on that one. Made the catch. So 2 up and 2 down. McGee's made 5 pitches. They've all been strikes. Here's C.J. Cron. That's ball 1. Cron singled and scored in the 3rd. Right back into the screen. The screen, foul. Now 1 and 2. Top of the 9th, 2 outs, bases empty. Rays trying to pull even in the current series. Angels won the first game last night, and the Rays lead 4-2. 2 outs in the 9th inning tonight. McGee trying to close this one out, trying to pick up his first save. Erasmo Ramirez, the pitcher of record. Upstairs. And something extra on that fastball at 97, trying to finish his business.
When you start to sense the end and you're going to cut it loose. Everything tonight here for the Rays has gone according to plan. The 5 for Ramirez with the lead. The bullpen has done its job.
Ground ball, and it gets by Franklin into right for a base hit. So Cron keeps it going.
Boy, kind of an emergency swing there by Cron. And he's able to poke that ball by Nick Franklin down there at first base and give the Angels an opportunity.
A 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Kibitsa will be lifted for the pinch hitter, and David Freese will now bat. Freese with a 12-game hitting streak, and he matches up against McGee for the first time. Strike, he takes the fastball. And a foul ball that gets part of Rivera. So it's an 0-2 count on Freese. And Rivera will collect himself. He had to take at least one of those. Here we are with a chance for that to be the next to last pitch of the night, and it got a piece of the Rays catcher.
When it caught him clean too. Watch this foul ball right off of his glove arm in that shoulder area.
An 0-2 count. Strike 3 call. Fastball at 96 empty. And the Rays win this one 4-2. And they even the series. Rays pick up the victory. And with that, they will pick up a game on New York. And they're back to a game and a half out of first in the American League East. Here's the final pitch. The McGee fastball to finish it. So Jake McGee comes on. The 5th pitcher of the night. He closes it out to pick up the save for the Rays. A 4-2 win. Ramirez will get the victory to run his record to 5-2. Weaver the loss, now 4-6 for McGee, his first save of the year. 2 hours and 39 minutes to play it, and the Rays come away with their 32nd win of the year. Rays now 4 over 500. Kevin Kiermaier had a good night on both sides of the baseball, and Todd Callis is with Kiermaier right now.
Dwayne, you're right about that. Sometimes you can't really tell from the box score how much of an impact the guy makes in the game. Kiermaier's line ends up being 1 for 4 with an RBI, but you do so much in that inning, especially after the run batted in. You force the issue on the bases. I know you love that part of the game. Was that something you always are trying to do whenever you get on base?
Yeah, right there, I just wanted to, make sure the run scored. And, I seen the play from right field, so I was going to push them in, try to get the second there and getting a run down and, accept that out right there. But thankfully, ended up working out. I got the second. And then, that next play, Joey hit that ball third. And I didn't even know that rule for it to be a fielder's choice for that run scored. Rocco gave me a look. He said, "Nice job, Kevin." I thought he was mad at me. And then he was like, "The run scored." So that was a big part of the game. And I didn't know that rule.
That guy was playing his first major league game. When you got close to him, do you think you just kind of made him panic a little? Because he could have thrown to first, obviously.
Yeah, I chopped my feet, so maybe he just heard that and was like, I'm going to get the sure out right here. And maybe he didn't know the rule either, because like I said, I didn't. And, ended up working out.
Here's the play. You take us through it.
So I was just going right here and didn't think that was going to happen at all. And thought the inning was over.
So if you knew the rule, you might have tried to get in a rundown more, although the run scored pretty easy.
I still would have went, but the outcome was, the best thing possible right there. And I just, like I said, I had no idea. So I'll take it, though.
You get the RBI, and then you get the assist on the run scoring to make it 2-0. Then in the 8th inning, Pujols is the batter. You know how much damage he has done against you guys this year. You're playing deep. No doubles. Take us through that play on a scale of 1 to outlaw. How did that one rank?
Well, he's been swinging the bat really good. So I was playing deep on him. I felt like I could make that catch. I was pretty sure I was going to be 100%, and thankfully I caught it. I get back in the dugout, and Boxberger is giving me a hard time because he said I shouldn't have dove. He said I should have been playing in more. I'm like, hey man, he's been swinging the bat. I'll give him some respect. But, ended up working out, and, a great win for us tonight.
Let me ask you, if you had a routine play, you always prefer diving or jumping, right?
It stops the ball from bouncing, and, it's tough making that shoestring catch. So a lot of times, I'll put my body on the line and lay out for it. It doesn't bother me at all, and, I think the fans appreciate it, and so do my teammates.
Nice job tonight, Kevin. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. Win for the Rays tonight. 4-2 against this Los Angeles Angels ball club. So the Rays, even in this current series, picking up the victory. Same 2 teams tomorrow. We'll be with you at 6:30. But Alex Colomé goes to the hill for the Rays. Garrett Richards set to pitch for the Angels. For Brian Anderson and the rest of our crew, this is Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays Live, the postgame comes your way immediately following our coverage. See you there.